And now, Fox 13 meteorologist Valerie Mills with your Sky Tower radar forecast.
Well, could you ask for much nicer beach weather? Maybe for some of us, we would tack on a couple more degrees to our afternoon temperatures, but try and enjoy these slightly, relatively cooler temperatures, as they are not going to be around for too much longer. Our average high temperatures at this point in the year, they just go up from here, so it's not going to be too much longer where we're talking about widespread 90s in the mix for our Tampa Bay spots. 65 right now, looking out in St. Pete. The day ahead is just going to be beautiful. We tap into the 70s by about 10 o'clock this morning, so it's going to be a quick warm up from here, reaching for highs right around the mid and the upper 70s. Note the icon, not any passing clouds. So if you're heading to the beach, be ready to soak up that sunshine. A bit of a westerly wind as we get into the afternoon, more close to that 10-mile-per-hour range. So there will be some breezes. That onshore wind, though, of course, is going to keep those coastal areas more so in the upper 70s compared to an east wind where we would expect more heat even along the coast. As for temperatures right now, 40s, 50s for much of the area, but then look at that. Tampa and St. Pete in the 60s. Tampa just hit into the 60s. St. Pete has been the warm spot in the mix all morning, but Crystal River, Brooksville, 45 for you. Wesley, Chapel, Lakeland, 50 degrees there, and about 56 for Bradenton, Sarasota, even into Venice. Then we jump inland, 46 right now in Northport as well as Wauchula. Calm winds, those are going to continue through most of the morning. You see only about a 6-mile-per-hour wind out of the northwest right now in St. Pete. We go from a bit of that northwest wind to more of a westerly and onshore wind for much of the afternoon hours. Also, with the cold air that moved through just a couple of days ago, we've been just enjoying the lovely humidity. Dew points in the 40s and 50s continue all day today, even into Monday. Then by the middle of the week, Tuesday into Wednesday, we start to feel those slightly higher humidity levels, dew points climbing back into the mid-60s. But the big picture here, high pressure continuing to spin off of our west coast. That's going to hang around here, and then we will be watching for a weak cold front to approach from the north. It's going to bring a bit more cloud cover in the mix come Tuesday, Wednesday. Some spotty showers will be possible, but at this point, it doesn't look like it's going to bring much rain our way. But I have a 20% rain chance for Tuesday into Wednesday. Maybe we'll bump that up to about 30% coverage, but you see the main messaging. We're not going to be talking about any widespread or really beneficial rains for most of us. So just some spotty showers in the mix for the middle of the week. Otherwise, nothing but sunshine today, even on Monday, talking mainly abundant sunshine. Now, we have had some rain here over the last couple of weeks, but look at our drought monitor. Overall, no big improvement there, and we're even seeing this sliver up into the panhandle where we're talking exceptional drought conditions. So yes, it is the dry season, but we went into the dry season behind schedule with our rain totals, and those have just continued to stack up. So all of the area dealing with some form of extreme or severe drought. And then we've got this sliver of Pasco, northern Hillsborough, and into northern Polk County, where we do have moderate drought. And that's really the best that we're looking here for the area. So bottom line, be careful with all of those water regulations. Do what you can to conserve. And we are overall going to be talking about low relative humidity, so that keeps that fire threat a little bit on the high side with more of this continued and warm, dry weather. Look at the next 5 days. There you see some of those spotty rain accumulations that will be possible. Georgia, the Carolinas get into that mix, as well as that cold front moves through into the early and middle part of this week. Hey, but don't worry if you're worried about some cold air coming our way. None of that is in the mix. In fact, we just continue to warm things up from here. So that's why I said enjoy the relatively cooler weekend, as we're looking at well into the mid and the upper 80s for high temperatures as we get to the middle of this upcoming week. And now we're officially into the spring season, and the angle of the sun really starts to change dramatically over the next couple of months. Spring is our kind of transition season into summer, and always kind of cool to see how the angle of the sun changes. Here's where we're at now, about a 62-degree angle of the sun. That gets up to right up high in the sky as we look to the June time frame. We get into the summer. We have more hours of daylight, and also that higher angle of the sun allowing for more heat and more hours of sun. So you look at how that's going to change looking to April, May, and the start of summer. That's June 21st. By then, we're nearly at 14 hours of daylight compared to about 12 hours now. 12 and a half hours of daylight looking ahead to our Easter plans. Now we're feeling overall more of that warmth returning, but it has been just historic heat out across the west, the southwest and southern portions of the country out over the last several days. This heat wave has been dominating and still continues to bring record high temperatures for many spots. So while we're talking 80s for kind of the coastline of Texas across the Gulf Coast, look at a lot of those mid-90s around Dallas, Phoenix 102 for today. We're going to be talking unseasonably warm temperatures, and this is just an incredible all-time record. It happened on Thursday for the last official day of winter. We hit the hottest March temperature ever recorded in the U.S. That happened in Martinez Lake, Arizona, 110 degrees, beating out the old record. It goes all the way back to 1954, where at that point the record high for March, that was in Rio Grande, Texas at 108. So just puts it into perspective how warm it has really been for our friends out across the west and the southwest. Meanwhile, sunny, low humidity for today, upper 70s, low 80s near the coast, 82 for Tampa and mid 80s today all across our inland spots. A little bit more warmth in place for Polk County, DeSoto, Hardy and Highlands. Gulf temperature at 66, so still a bit on the cool side with that cold air that moved through. Talking smooth conditions on the bay today, west wind around 5 knots. If you're hoping to head out on the boat, it's going to be a good day for a ride on the boat. That would be my pick if I had someone who wanted to take me out on a boat ride for this Sunday afternoon. High tide 4:20 this afternoon, and then we look at low temperatures a little bit more mild, about 58 tonight in Tampa. We get back to more so lows in the 50s and low 60s as we look at your 7-day forecast with temperatures well into the mid 80s for most of next week.